Hello, welcome to day 5. This live is going to be raw. It's going to be super from the heart. I'm a little nervous, so I'm just going to allow people to trickle in. But for those of you that are listening on Instagram Live or my podcast or my YouTube, I've been doing a 28-day series where I show up raw, authentically from my heart and just channel and stream what wants to be shared. And I'm doing this series called the Unshakable Transmission series, and I'm going to help you become unshakable no matter what. This all stemmed from 5 years ago. I went through the worst pain of my entire life. A 6-year relationship I was in ended. Everything started crumbling, my work, like everything. And I didn't know who I was, and I only felt great about myself when I was in a relationship, when I was crushing it in my career, and that really was the portal for me to come back home to myself, to connect more with my heart. So I'm going to just allow others to join. I am nervous because this episode is going to be really, really raw, and there is something powerful in speaking your truth, but something really vulnerable in sharing your heart in a world where many hearts are closed, in a world where, live from your mind, in a world where live from your power. And if you saw the live yesterday, it's easy for me to come on here and, be confident, be convicted, be powerful. That is really, really inside of me, but that's much easier than me coming online and showing my heart, being, more raw. And I am coming on here today to help you become unshakable in who you are. Many people in the collective are going through different transitions, different identity collapses, if you saw the live from yesterday. And I want to share that, most people say, Paige, you're so powerful, and they see me in that light with this armor. I'm in Aries, if you know, you know. And what's really coming through is I didn't become powerful because life was easy. I became powerful because I had to hold myself when I felt alone, when I didn't feel like life got me. And I became powerful through heartbreak, through walking away from almost love, through walking away from the almost great life, through walking away from good enough, and through burning down a life that looked perfect on paper. Nothing was wrong. It didn't feel like my truth. It didn't. For a long time, I gaslighted myself. I thought, well, maybe I'm just not grateful. Maybe I just want too much. Maybe this, maybe that. But here's something that I've learned in protecting myself, like with this power, with this armor. I stopped showing my heart, and my heart is the real reason I'm here. It's the real reason I lead. And so if you are here right now listening to this, whether you're on the Instagram Live, whether you're on my podcast, whether you're on my YouTube, where are you not leading from your heart? Where do you still feel like you need to wear these masks, these armors to protect yourself? Because let me let you in on a secret. Leading from your heart, living with an open heart is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Powerful. Absolutely powerful. Where in your life hardened you, made you feel like you need to have this armor and be perfect and not allow other people to get close to you? You can feel my energy. You can feel people when they are leading from their heart. It's felt. It's a felt experience. It's not in the mind. And so when we disconnect from our hearts, we disconnect from our hearts when we've experienced deep pain, because staying in our hearts feels dangerous. Staying in our hearts feels like you don't have control. So we armor up, we work, we become workaholics, we become perfectionists, we try and control, we try and bring in this power, this independence. But you can't attract real abundance or aligned love from survival mode, from a mode where you need to have this armor. Your nervous system won't let you receive if your heart is guarded. I'm going to say that again. Your nervous system will not let you receive if your heart is guarded, because you're always going to be bracing. And when you're bracing, you're blocking the flow of abundance. The flow of abundance is just the stream of energy in your system. And so what we're going to get into today is I'm going to share a story of what cracked me open. There's been many. And I'm sharing that this is my standard. Leading with an open heart, leading with an unshakable spine. You know, I used to think that, oh, when you lead with your heart, or oh, when you show people your sensitive side, I am deeply sensitive. I can feel energy miles away. I can feel energy behind what my clients are saying and not saying. And this is how I help them. I receive them with full love, accepting all of them. And so I want you to ask yourself, what is your standard? My standard is living with an open heart and an unshakable spine. Just because you're open and connected with love and in your sensitive side doesn't mean, people can take advantage of you. You still can bring that, unshakableness. So you don't need to be soft or leaking. It's not powerful or cold. It's someone who can feel deeply and hold themselves fully. And that's what I mean to live in natural abundance. You have nothing to prove, nothing to fear, nothing to chase, and nothing to lose. I'm going to say that again. Everyone wants more abundance, but everyone's chasing. They don't even know what they're looking for. They're looking for a feeling. And so to live in natural abundance, it's when you're not proving anything, you don't have anything to fear, and you have nothing to chase because you're unshakable within yourself. I'm going to be really, really honest and just share a few things that have been on my heart that I know other people in the collective are feeling. But what I want to share is that I'm tired. I'm exhausted of being the strong one all the time. So much of my life I felt like I was carrying everything alone. And now I'm learning to let myself be held by life, by friends, by God. Because you don't get a trophy for struggling. You don't get a trophy or an award for doing it all alone, being the strong one. You actually dim your light and dim your expression, because then you come up with all this armor and people can't feel you. People want to feel you. People want to feel connected to you, and they feel connected to you when you're leading with your heart, Because the more that you're leading with your heart, the more that you can see other people. And if you go back to my different lives, I have different energies I'm channeling. Sometimes it's the powerful, this and that, and then other times it's the softer side. A few other truths that I want to share that's been on my heart, and then I'm going to get into a story, is that for so long, my nervous system didn't feel safe in love. Not because of love itself, but because I was still abandoning myself. I still needed a partner. I still needed something outside of me to make me feel loved. And in my 3-day abundance reset that's coming up, I'm helping people rewire their nervous system to a state of love and safety and release survival patterns. Because if you don't feel love inside of yourself, you will always abandon yourself. We need love. We need love. We need to feel that we belong. We need to feel that we are loved. And if we don't, then we will always try and seek, search, and chase outside of ourselves. 3 other truths that I want to share that's been on my heart is that it was really hard to outgrow identities that I thought would make me happy, like burning down my life in San Francisco, letting go of this perfect image, and choosing my soul. It was really, really hard. But the more that you cultivate this unshakableness inside of yourself, you're never going to be able to abandon yourself. You're never going to be able to not listen to your heart and not listen to your soul. And then the last thing that actually really makes me sad in speaking it, because it cost me so much pain, is that for so long in my life, I thought I had to earn safety. I didn't know that it was my birthright. My nervous system kept looking for safety outside of myself. and safety has always been inside of me. You know, when we first come in this world as babies, we are abundant, we are safe. That's just who we are. We're not like having to earn it. We're not like saying to our parents, hey, please give me safety. If we don't have safety, we will literally fully express, fully unleash. We will scream from the rooftops until we feel love, until we feel safe. And then we go away from that when we're older. We don't want to, you know, cause any tension. We don't really want to show who we truly are. We just kind of bop around. That's not unshakable. That's not truth. And people can feel when it's not truth. And so what we're going to get into today is a story about how your body knows before your mind. Your body speaks truth before you're ready to admit it. I'm going to say this again. Your body speaks truth before you're ready to admit it. So in your mind, when you're doing this dance of, was it fear? Is it intuition? I don't know what to do. I'm scared. All of this chatter, that's not where the knowing comes from. The inner knowing is inside your body, and your body will always speak to you. Whisper, 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 and then it'll scream. And so when you are going through like, you know, burnout or a breakdown or a collapse or just something very, very intense in your body, that's when truth is surfacing. That's when your body is saying, no, we're no longer going to let you abandon yourself. No, we're no longer going to let you live in this facade. No, we're no longer going to let you continue wearing these masks. And I'm going to share a really, really vulnerable story that was so painful and hard to show you how it played out in my own life. So back in March, I was in Bali and I was feeling just like this frustration, like festering in my body, just this like frustration. And nothing happened. It just was coming up. And in my human design, I'm a manifester. If you know anything about human design, I would definitely check it out because it helps to show you how you best can work. Manifestors, like 80% of the time, they're resting. We like initiate, we're visionaries, but we're not like generators where we're like constantly going on. But in my manifestor like chart, when I'm out of alignment, I experience the emotion as anger. And so in March, the frustration was coming. And I didn't know why. There was nothing happening in my life for me to feel frustrated, for me to feel anger about. And also in the world, in this culture, we really reject anger. We reject pretty much all emotions unless it's like light and joy and excitement. Hello, Nicole. Thank you for joining. Share any questions. And so in March, I started feeling just anger, frustration, and I had to leave Bali and do a visa run. And so I flew to Thailand. And when I got to Thailand, I was relaxing on the beach and I decided to do a detox program, like a parasite cleanse and like a water fast, just to connect more deeper with myself. And during this fast, my body started allowing myself to feel this anger, to feel this frustration. And I was like, what's going on? Why is this happening? And when you are in a state of safety, when your body feels safe, all of it will surface. The things that you've been avoiding, the things that you've been numbing. And so anyways, after I did this detox thing, I go to Bangkok and I'm like wandering the streets. And I remember vividly one night in Bangkok, at like midnight, I was in my hotel room. I was staying at this like beautiful hotel with a beautiful view. I think on the 23rd floor, and it reminded me of like my old apartment in San Francisco. And out of nowhere, I just felt this this intense feeling like in my chest and like upper chakras. And I didn't know what it was. And it's actually really hard to articulate this into words right now because unless you've experienced something like it, it's not a concept type thing. And so out of nowhere, I felt very heavy in my chest. My throat was closing and I just started experiencing tears. And I was like, my body was like shaking. I don't know, maybe it kind of felt like a panic attack or maybe it kind of felt like I don't know how to explain it. And so anyways, it's midnight. I'm in my hotel room alone, and I just start walking the streets because I'm like, I don't want to be alone. And if you've been to Bangkok before in Thailand, the city is like, people are out very, very late. So I just started walking around, and then all of a sudden I catch myself sitting on a bench in Thailand. Hi, Christina. I'm sharing a story. You can put any questions in the chat. I catch myself sitting on a bench in Thailand at midnight alone. My body is shaking. I can't stop shaking. Tears are running down my face, and my heart, there feels like a knife in my heart. And I literally felt like I was dying. I was dying. And it was so odd and interesting because life was fine on paper. Everything was great. I had an abundant business. I was living abroad. I had abundance. And my body started collapsing. I didn't understand it at the time, but my body knew something my mind was avoiding. And that moment was the death of an old identity, one that was built on pushing, performing, surviving. And this opened the floodgates to grief. I didn't even know what grief was. I didn't even know it was possible to experience deep levels of grief without going through like someone passing away. And a few months before this, I started strengthening my connection with God, a higher power, and I said, God, please strip me away of anything that's not heart, anything that's not truth. Oh, God delivered. And so for the next few months, I couldn't be in large areas or large public without constantly shaking, constantly crying. And you guys have to understand, my whole life, I've been the achiever, the wise one, the powerful one, the confident one, the perfect one. And so now I literally can no longer outrun my body. I cannot run. This grief was so intense. And so in from March until I would say July, maybe even August, it was very, very intense. I actually took time off online because I wanted to process it and be with it and not escape it. And this was the doorway back to my heart, back to my truth. My intuitive gifts started coming on more and more. I started getting visions of my life, other people's lives. I started giving intuitive readings. But there was a part of me that wanted to hide. I didn't feel comfortable sharing with the world. This armor that I've worn my whole life was actually a facade, actually was a lie. It's not actually who I am. Who I am is someone that's deeply sensitive. I can feel deeply. I didn't want to show people who I really am because it's scary. People are going to think you're crazy. But when you're unshakable in yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks at all. And so in this moment in Thailand, when this was happening, I was so frustrated, so annoyed. I thought my body was betraying me, but the body was revealing where I was abandoning myself, where I wasn't living in full alignment. And so if you're experiencing anxiety, exhaustion, binging, my relationship with food really struggled this past year, which I'll probably have a separate episode on that specifically, or you feel like your body's shutting down or collapsing, these are messengers, not the problem. Stop focusing on the anxiety, stop focusing on the exhaustion, stop focusing on the food stuff, the alcohol stuff, whatever it is. They're messengers. They're not the problem. They're the Band-Aid solution for something that's going on deeper. And so when you experience your body breaking down, whatever you're experiencing, it's not self-sabotage. It's your body protecting you, saying, wake up. We're no longer going to live a life that's out of alignment. We're not okay with this. And so what I experienced is deep, deep, deep grief. And it's so hard to explain into words. It completely broke me. I remember calling my sister and saying to her, Caroline, I can't do this. I can't live another day. This is too painful. And when I called her saying, I can't do this, this is too painful, this grief is cracking me open. Hello, I see some have joined. I'm sharing a story. You can put any questions you have in the chat, and thank you for being here. And so I called my sister in this moment, And I said, Caroline, I can't do this. I can't live another day. I cannot. My body's shaking. My heart feels like there's a knife in it. And I no longer could outrun or logically think my way out of this situation through achieving, through performing, through chasing. And my sister said to me, Paige, this is exactly where you need to be. This is the portal. And I was like, no, Caroline, you don't understand. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm going through so much pain. Like, I literally like barely could breathe. It felt like I was having a panic attack. And she was like, no, I do understand. And this is guiding you back home. And I was resisting this experience for so long because my whole life, I was the achiever. I was the perfect one. I was the one that had it all together. I was deathly scared and terrified of the world seeing who I truly am. And who I truly am is someone that has such a big heart, you guys. I care so much. I am so deeply sensitive. I feel everything in my body, what you feel in your body. I get visions of your life. I can tell where you are out of alignment and in alignment. I am so sensitive. And I used to pretend like I wasn't sensitive at all. And so your body is going to speak to you. And your body is going to tell you where you're abandoning yourself, even before your mind admits it. And true alignment is felt first in the body and it's understood by the mind later. So if you're in a season right now of, I don't know what to do, I don't know what's right, that's backwards. It's a felt experience in your body, what alignment is, and then it's understood later. And so from March until August, I went through deep grief portals, deep. It's hard to explain unless you've experienced it, but that really forced me to stop abandoning myself. I stopped gaslighting myself, my emotions, just to stay strong, just to stay perfect, just to be accepted. And I let my heart break me open so that truth could emerge. When you don't allow yourself to feel your feelings, you're blocking yourself from abundance and you're blocking yourself from more love that exists inside of you. And so I let my heart break open. And in the moments that my heart was aching so much, truth was arising. Good question. Is abandonment self-betrayal? Yes, I believe so. When you're abandoning yourself, you're not connected to your truth, your needs, your heart, and you always self-betrayal. Because when you're not in alignment, you're not connected to truth, you're not connected to heart. And so when you're not connected to heart, to love, you will always go outside of yourself, but abandon yourself and betray yourself to access that outside of you. What that looks like is overworking, overachieving, chasing relationships that you know are not in alignment, showing up as this put together person when I see you, I see your heart. Show me your depth, show me your heart, show me your truth. I don't care about your achievements. I don't care about you being perfect. I care about what you feel, like what is on your heart that wants to be expressed. You know, each day that I come on these lives, hello, thank you for joining. You can share any questions. I see more have joined. Each day I come on these lives, before I join, I place my hand on my heart, I breathe, and I ask my heart what wants to be shared. You guys, I come from a strong business background. I come from a strong background in corporate, in business. I know how to sell. I know psychology. I know all of that. But I'm not here for that. I'm here for truth. I'm here for heart. I'm here to be felt. You know, in this series, Unshakable Transmission, that's actually how my signature program was born. I have offers. I have things to serve you. I have things to help you transform through heart, through truth, not through my mind. And so the day I stopped abandoning myself, I connected to my heart. I connected to my unshakable spine. Everything changed. I let my heart break open so truth could emerge. And truth for me is living full out as my fully expressed self. Not the perfect one, not the achiever, but who I truly am. And it's so interesting and such a dichotomy because when you allow yourself to be all of you, you are so magnetic. energetic. When you just say the thing that you have been thinking that you don't want to say, like, oh my gosh, I have so much shame. What if people don't love me? What if people don't accept me? Oh my gosh, well, I need to be put together because this person's going to think, no one is thinking what you're thinking. I don't think those things. When I see people connected to their heart, when I see people like soft, I'm so magnetized to them because it takes so much strength to show up in the world with an open heart, with softness. It's so easy to be powerful. I mean, look at my live yesterday. All of my lives have different energies depending on what I'm channeling. And so becoming unshakable within yourself isn't about perfection. It's not about, well, I need to be this way. It's about being so rooted in your truth. And you know what your truth is. Your truth is something that you're deathly scared to say out loud. But when you are in your truth, your nervous system feels safe. Your life becomes clear. You attract abundance. You magnetize abundance. You know, me coming on these lives daily, it's easy for me. I mean, actually today has been hard. It's scary. I'm not going to lie. I'm like laughing, but you can have joy and anxiety at the same time. It's the duality. This is what I help my clients with, expanding your capacity in your nervous system. Not getting sucked away with the anxiety, but being able to feel both. And so when you are connected to your truth, you open yourself up to so much abundance. And truth is felt. It's not in the mind. And so your truth is something that you are scared deathly to say out loud. My truth was, oh my gosh, I don't know how people are going to accept me or love me if I'm not achieving, if I'm not performing, if I'm not successful, if I'm not rich. That led my whole life, proving to the world, see me, validate me. You know, and there are aspects of me that, you know, is very, very ambitious. It's something I've been born with, but I now channel that ambition in another way. I'm not chasing anything. I'm unlocking my highest self. I'm reading what people are sharing in this Instagram live. Perhaps there is a big fear that truly knowing ourselves will place us outside of all systems control that give people a sense of stability. Yes. I think another thing that comes up for people is there is a big fear that truly knowing ourselves will mean that we need to be ourselves. And being ourselves means, well, will we still belong? Will we still fit in? Will we leave other people behind? Will people still understand us? But you were never meant to be understood. And you were never meant to belong with the masses. You were never meant to be in a system to give you a false and illusion of stability. That comes inside of yourself. And so I'm sitting on this live here sharing with you about how I felt so much shame in my life, sharing with you how I felt scared to be who I truly am. I mean, me coming on this live right now with my heart, that would have never happened months back. Nope. I doubled down on nervous system work, energy work. I have my own coach for that. This is what I help guide people through. I think right now, 50% of my clients are women, 50% are men. And so we need each other. We need to stop dancing around like, I don't need anyone. I got it. I'm powerful alone. I wore that like a badge of honor. And that didn't get me anywhere. It actually created more suffering. And what I tell my clients is, I'm not above you. We're the same level playing field. I'm a mirror of truth. I'm a mirror of transmission, of unconditional love. And when you get that mirror back into your nervous system, your body softens. You let go of the armor. You allow yourself to receive. You only can receive based on how deeply connected you are within your truth. And so if you feel lost right now, you're not lost. Your body is asking you to listen. If you are going through massive grief portals, it means something beautiful is being reborn. Truth is emerging. You know, I reached out to a higher power months ago and said, I think in February, and said, please strip me of everything that is not truth. I went through massive grief, massive. I was no longer able to pretend everything was okay. Another question that's coming through on this Instagram live, rebuilding the sense of stability after stepping outside of systems of control appears to the task of integration. Yes. I would say that's one of the hardest journeys I've ever gone through. When you burn down your old life, when you burn down things that are no longer your truth. And for everyone, this looks different. I'm not on here to tell people what to do. I'm not on here to tell you to burn down your corporate life, burn down your relationship, burn down this, that. I'm here to be a mere reflection of what it means to be unshakable within yourself, what it means to be brave, bold, and courageous. Not be brave, let me motivate you. No, it's a felt experience. It's rooted, it's energy in my body. And when I speak that, something activates inside of you. And so over the last year, when I walked away from my 7-figure corporate job, when I walked away from a soulmate, when I walked away from San Francisco, my dream life, blah, 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 blah. Oh my gosh, my nervous system got shot. Sometimes when you're very confident, and that's pretty much everyone in my field, that really believes in themselves, that know they're meant for more, that knows they have this unshakableness inside of them, they just need to connect to it, you kind of jump off the cliff before your nervous system is really ready. And so over the last year, it was really, really hard. I had many sleepless nights, insomnia, emotional eating, something I was really, really shameful about for a long time. And I would share with people, oh my gosh, sometimes I'll emotional eat. I feel so much shame. And people would say to me, okay, well, just count your macros. And I'm like, the emotional eating is the solution to the underlying feeling in my nervous system and not feeling safe. It's not the problem. So whether you drink, whether you eat, whether you use drugs, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a, whatever. So take all this with a grain of salt. It is not the problem. It is the solution to the discomfort in your body. You are chasing relief. You can access that same relief through doing nervous system work. I walk you through all of this step by step in my Unshakable You program, my signature program. I'm reading another thing posted on this Instagram live. Sounds like soulmates are tuned to specific timelines, therefore they could not align with the true you or you graduated. I believe, my personal belief, you have more than one soulmate. You have actually many, many soulmates depending on where you're at in your life, energetically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And so you connect with them based on where you're at. And I believe in free will. I believe in you can choose who you are with and go on that journey with someone. When it no longer feels like truth, you can decide to walk away. But here's the thing. Many people are living from their cerebral mind, their intellect, their logic. They're disconnected from a felt sense in their body. And so if you are going through a massive transformation, which many people are, I would definitely recommend you to watch my Instagram live from yesterday about, is it truth? Is it intuition or fear? Many people are going through identity collapses. And so if you are going through that, you're being initiated into deeper truth. There's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to fear. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever gone through in my life. And your next level will not come from force. It will not. It will come from surrender. And surrender is not just about okay, let me do nothing. Let me just sit back. Because I know as a high achiever, that's really, really hard to do. Surrender is about connecting deeper with your body, listening to what it's whispering and sharing with you and building a deeper connection with that. That's how you become unshakable. I have built so much safety, love inside of myself. I'm unshakable. I can walk away from a soulmate that I was still in love with. I can walk away from a business. A few months ago, I burned my business down because it didn't feel like truth. It's really easy for me to attract wealth. And so I was helping others do that, but it no longer felt like truth because that was only one part of the puzzle. And so I help people now attract abundance from connecting deeper to who they truly are, rewiring their nervous system. I'm not here to attract people that want a quick million, want a quick buck, because the truth is you can have it all. You can have everything and still feel empty and still feel like you're living a fucking lie. I'm not here to help you live a lie. I'm here to help you live a life that feels so alive, feels magical. And so if this speaks to you, just know your body is speaking and communicating to you before your mind. For many people in my field, for many people on this live right now, You are so smart. You are so intelligent. You are so ambitious. Intelligence, logic, intellect, you're powerful. But when it comes to connecting in with your body, there's some room for growth. And your nervous system only can feel safe when you are deeply connected in with your body, when you're listening to it. So the life that you are deeply desiring, it will not come from your mind. Okay, I'm looking at the questions on the live now. What if a person isn't a high net worth, high achiever? Do you feel the transformation work includes become high net worth? Yeah, beautiful question. So, I feel your energy. I know who you are. You are powerful. You have been gifted with powerful energy. You are ambitious. And so when I say high achiever, I mean it's innate to who you are. It doesn't matter if you are not high net worth, but what matters is that you are connected to your truth. But for many people, and I'm gonna be blunt and call you out, I feel your energy, and you need to allow yourself to be more of who you truly are. People will accept you. People will fucking be magnetized to you because you already have power. You already have this energy that's magnetized, but it's with an armor, a protection armor. And so when you allow yourself to be who you truly are and go through that transformation, you can come in my signature program or we can work one-on-one together. It will allow you to attract millions. 100%. I know it's a dichotomy when you release the armor, when you allow yourself to be who you truly are. Oh no, will it all work out? What's going to happen? Everything's going to collapse, fear, all this, but that's just the mind. And so I only attract two types of people in my world, literally. People that are very wealthy and successful, but feel empty and are looking for a new way. And then another person that is powerful and going to be very, very successful and wealthy. Those are only the two types of people I attract. Another question on this Instagram live is, how is leaving corporate life in San Francisco? Wow, that is a very good question. And I think I'm going to do a separate episode specifically on that. But what I will share right now is it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Hardest things. Oh my gosh, I can feel like the tears. I'm just allowing my heart to speak. I can feel the tears in that experience because my story is different from many. I never hated my corporate life. I loved it. I loved it so, so much. I was so good at it. I loved it. It validated me. I loved my coworkers. I loved my clients. I loved the validation it gave me. It was really, really hard. I was not prepared for that journey. I started emotional eating. I couldn't sleep. My nervous system was shot. I'm going to do a separate episode on that. But if you have any specific questions, you can share them in the chat. And so what I'll leave you with is that your body's always speaking to you. You're not lost. You're not confused. You don't know. You know. But what I said a lot in the live yesterday that was really powerful, I definitely recommend you watch it, is that in order to face truth and receive truth, it's very scary because you need to collapse some of your identity. You know, like what truth looked like for me is my truth was no longer staying in corporate, rising the ranks, making another million that way. I will make $1 million, through serving. My truth was following my heart. My heart was aching. Paige, be who you truly are. Show your sensitive side. Show the side of you that, feels deeply, not this armor. And so I walked away from corporate, but it was really hard to listen to truth because when you listen to truth, identities will collapse and dissolve and you need to be ready for that. But I'm telling you right now, whether you're listening on Instagram Live, my podcast, my YouTube, you will always be loved and accepted for who you truly are. And the people that are meant for you, the people that are right for you, you will magnetize them. You will magnetize them. I give you this blueprint in my signature program. I've gone through so many identity collapses. I've gone through all the same fears that you're thinking about. Are lives archived as reels? I've never found previous ones. They're on my page. They are on my page, and they also are on my podcast. The link is in my bio, so if you want to just listen to it like while you're on a walk or just laying down, you can do that as well. I'm just connecting to see if there's anything else that wants to be shared from my heart. It's so beautiful to live from your heart. At first, it's really, really scary. But there is so much magic. There is so much joy that comes. And it's not even like you could feel my energy. It's not something you can just fake. It's you become alive. And so if this live spoke to you, you are my people. I walk with leaders who are done performing and are wanting to connect deeper with truth. I help you alchemize shame and turn it into $1 million like I did. So if you feel called to go deeper, reach out to me. You can send me a DM and we'll connect and see what options there are to work together. And I trust who is meant to be here. This finds. And if you know in your heart that you're pulled, that you're activated from my energy, it's an invitation to lean in. It would have been so much easier for me if I just received support rather than wearing this armor of, I need to do it all alone. I'm perfect. I need to hold it all. You don't. You're not actually meant to at all. Thank you so, so much for joining. There will be another live tomorrow, and I'm sending you a lot of love. And wherever you're at, if you're listening to this on Instagram Live, my YouTube, my podcast, send me a message on Instagram, Paige_Rothschild. I want to hear from you. Share with me what's on your heart. And share with someone in your life what's on their heart as well. We are meant to fully express. We are meant to allow ourselves to be seen. Shame lives in secrecy. So do yourself a favor today and speak truth. Something that's been on your heart that you've been scared to share. Matter of fact, put it in these comments on this live that's been posted. Allow other people to see the real you. Thanks so much for joining. And I will see you tomorrow and for the next 28 days.